How's it going, everybody? My name is Nick Stevens, and this is the Jacob's Blades YouTube channel. So this is my first video, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys my knife grinding jig. This is how I grind all of my bevels. Now, normally what you'll see guys use is, as far as jigs go, if they're not freehand grinding, they're going to use some sort of jig. And normally their jigs are usually just a piece of angle iron with a set screw running through it. And that set screw, when adjusted, will determine the pitch or the diameter of the grind. So what I came up with was, I've got this is the main body of the jig. It is made out of aluminum, and you can see it's got two dowel pins that stick out. And what those do is those allow the knife to sit and rest onto the jig. They are straight in line. And then you also see right above them is I've got two threaded holes, and that accepts this bolt here. Normally I'll use this bolt and washer. I'm going to go without using the washer just for the sake of this video. Normally I will use the washer when I'm actually grinding. So the way this works is you just go ahead and you'll transfer drill through the back of the jig through this hole, and you drill through that, or you can mark it with a dicom or a scratch awl or something. If you don't want to potentially screw up the threads in here, you can just go ahead and transfer mark through that hole into the tang, and then drill a 1/4 inch hole to accept this bolt. So, and then once you've got that drilled, you go ahead and you just bolt it onto the jig, tighten it down and making sure you're resting flat on this dowel pin right here, and then that allows you to mount the knife and grind. So that's all there is to say about that. Now, if you're getting into using like hidden tang blades and things like that, you can use a clamp. Like here, a clamp will work just fine. I don't really do hidden tang, so that's why I came up with this bolt method. Also, for clearance reasons, the clamp doesn't really work well for me, just because the grinder I use, the arm that holds the flat platen onto the grinder, interferes with the clamp. So that's why I even came up with the whole bolt idea anyway. So yeah, so now you can see this is just square, and that's where this comes into play. This is the angle plate. This one happens to be 4 degrees. Now I'm a machinist by trade, so this is what kind of gives me the ability to make shit like this. This is a 4 degree. I could make pretty much any degree angle plate that I want to. The machine has that ability, and so what I'll probably end up doing for the future is making anywhere from a 1 to probably an 11 degree angle plate, and then I can even get into the decimal places. So if I want to do like a 3.5 or a 3.25 degree angle, I could get into doing that as well. Maybe even engraving the angle plates with whatever degree they are, so that way I don't get them mixed up or anything, and I don't have to use a protractor to check each time. So, but the way it works is you've got two countersunk holes here on the main body of the jig, and I just go ahead and put the plate in place, and I'll usually just start both of these. I'll start both bolts, and I'll just tighten them each a little bit. I'll just go back and forth, and that just makes sure that I'm not screwing up the threads, and I'm also bolting it nice and flat to the main body of the jig. So as you can see, once it's all tightened down, it sits nice and flush, because these things actually the plates themselves actually are warped a little bit just from the machining process, but when you do bolt it on, all that warping goes away and it sits nice and flat. So that being said, the main body of the jig is made out of aluminum, and then the angle plates are made out of stainless steel. And the reason I did that, now most of us know aluminum does not rust, and obviously stainless steel's purpose is not to rust. Well, so when you're grinding and grinding, that blade will get hot, so you want to quench it in water. The water will just keep everything cool, and the reason, if you're going to be quenching it, you're going to want to keep the stainless steel and the aluminum because they won't rust like normal carbon steel will. So that's why I went with them. Also, The reason I didn't make the entire thing out of aluminum was because the angle plate, it's going to be dragging across a stainless steel work table. And the last thing I want is for it to be, if it was made out of aluminum, to get all scratched up, and you know, they don't tend to really drag as smooth. So if I have a stainless steel table and a stainless steel angle plate, they just skate right across it. They skate right over each other, and I don't have any problems with the because the aluminum will actually start to kind of, as it wears out, it'll tend to want to stick to the table, because that table I have is perfectly flat. So with that being stainless steel, it just keeps it from sticking to the table and getting all scratched up and stuff. So the reason I didn't make the entire thing out of stainless steel is because the aluminum will act as a heat sink, and a lot of the heat will transfer from the blade into the aluminum. Not much, and I am going to be quenching it in water, so it's kind of redundant, but aluminum is a lot lighter as well, so it's a lot easier to move around than if it was made out of stainless steel entirely. So I only have one of these plates now, and that's the 4 degree. I do plan on making some more, but so you can see that it does make nice grinds. Now, it just keeps the constant angle, so you do have to worry about how much pressure you put and keeping it nice and straight and everything. That's all where the skill comes in. A lot of the guys, and you really got to give the guys who freehand grind a lot of credit, because keeping a consistent angle and giving nice pressure and making really good looking grinds, it takes a lot of skill, and I haven't really messed with that too much. I've always just wanted to do the whole jig idea and just get it done faster, but I really give a lot of credit to the guys who can freehand grind. So hopefully I can get there one day, but in the meantime I'm gonna have to stick with using this jig. So alright, that's the end of this video and showing this jig off. I was going to be making these and selling them, but a lot of people were kind of scared by the price. I was going to be selling the jig with one angle plate for 120, and that was just that was out of a lot of people's price ranges, and I don't blame them. I wanted to make it cheaper, but I had to buy all my own material and all my own tooling, and also using my works machines. I didn't really want to kind of overstay my welcome as far as using their stuff, so it just wasn't cost effective to sell them for any less than that. And when a lot of people were kind of deterred by the price, it just the idea kind of went with it. So so I won't be manufacturing these, but if you do want to take off the idea and make one of these for yourself, go right ahead if you have the capability. I don't really have a blueprint, but if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. But if you guys did like this video, go ahead and click subscribe and like, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to be making more videos like this. Not so much tutorial videos. I'm not entirely new to knife making, but I'm no expert by any means. So but I do have a lot of project videos that I have coming up, such as this one. Now I've already started on this, but the last thing I get to do once this is heat treated is just put this handle scales on it. So maybe I'll make a video doing that. I got another project. This guy here, this is some A2 steel. And then I also have a big chopper that I'm making out of A2, and I'm actually going to mill the bevels on this one, which will be kind of cool. So maybe I'll do a video on that as well. So also, this guy needs a name, so if you guys have any suggestions, just let me know. So thanks for watching.